But before he shows up, and he should be here any moment, and we're looking forward to speaking with him immediately, one of the first things I want to talk about, there's something that's been running rampant in the last couple of days, and you've probably seen it on Facebook, on other social media. It's the U.S. World Women's Soccer Team. Congratulations, they won the Women's World Cup, which is great. But at the same time, there's some controversy there. The big controversy is over the U.S. flag. And a lot of people have claimed that there was a purposeful dragging of the U.S. flag, dropping it on the ground, stomping on it, and then it was saved by one of the other members of the team, a Miss Kelly O'Hara. This is something that's driving people nuts, and a lot of people are talking about it, but very few people have actually seen the video. Well, we were able to find some of that video, and we want to present it to you so that you can see for yourself and make up your own mind. So we're going to go right over to that. It's about 18 seconds. So please pay attention. And we're going to start it up right now. There's the video. And I'm going to stop it right here. So the first thing you'll see, the flag is being dragged on the ground. That is a fact. We're seeing the flag being dragged on the ground, which is a disrespect, and that is intentional. She is obviously not trying to hold it off of the ground. So that's a fact. Let's go a little further in the video. We now see that stop. She moved it from hand to hand, which means she was very aware that she had the flag in her hands and that the flag was dragging on the ground. That is a intentional action. She knows what she is doing. She then drops the flag. She knows she had it in her hand. She switched hands with it. She knows what she's doing. She drops it. It is now on the ground. She has intentionally done this. Next thing. Now, the flag being on the ground, the women start right next to her, start moving back and forth in their celebration. And is the flag being stepped on? Maybe. Is it intentional? Maybe. That's an opinion. And you can say they intentionally stepped on the flag or they just didn't care because they dropped it on the ground and didn't care about it and forgot about it at that moment. What you're seeing in the background, though, is Kelly O'Hara seeing the flag on the ground and reaching over to pick up the flag. Watch what happens next. We see that the flag is picked up and tossed back so that Kelly O'Hara can take it away because we see that they're more impressed with trying to show off and celebrate their win than the U.S. flag that they are there to represent. And the video ends with them cheering and happy and no one seeing what's happened to the U.S. flag. So that was the exact entirety of that moment. So let me tell you. Oops, we're going to come back here. Sorry. There we are. So let me just clarify here. What did we just see happen? And I think it's very clear in the video. It's 18 seconds. This is not complicated. It's real simple that, yes, and I agree with you, Christine, this is absolute disrespect to the flag. It was purposefully dragged on the ground. It was knowingly dropped. It was knowingly tossed aside. Whether or not it was stepped on, yes, different people have different opinions on that. But I think it's very clear, and I think it answers the question. Now, if you ask me, do I want to support a team that drags the U.S. flag across the ground, throws it aside as if it were a rag, and tosses it to others without care and concern because they want the spotlight on them when they are there to represent the United States? Do I want to support a team like that? No, I do not. I don't care if it's football, basketball. I don't care if it's men, women. I don't care who it is. You're dragging the United States flag on the ground. That's disrespect. You're tossing it aside like it's a rag. That's disrespect. I don't care what team you represent. I don't care what gender you are. That's disrespectful, and I think it's wrong. And I think it should be called out. Not everyone will agree with me on this. And I'm happy to hear what other people think. I see Christine says, absolutely disrespectful of the American flag. They didn't care. I agree. I think the video is very clear on that. And that's why I wanted to show it to you in its completeness. It's 18 seconds, but it's very clear what's going on there. That's wrong. And they want more money to be able to disrespect America. I'm sorry. Besides the fact that women's soccer, let's be honest, was created because the men's soccer team can't win. We can't. We're not good enough. We just aren't. And that's a fact. The world has been focused on soccer for a long time. The United States, it is not a primary game like it is everywhere else in the world. We're not as good. It's just a fact. Okay, I can accept that. And we created the women's soccer team because no other nation had a formal, organized women's soccer team. So we dominate, and we have been dominating. And I'm happy that the United States can dominate in a world sport, even though it's kind of disingenuous and unfair because the other world leaders don't care. The other nations don't care about women's soccer. And that's why it makes $131 million a year versus, and this is globally, $131 million, which is a lot of money until you look at any other sports team in the world. And no, it's really not. And when you compare it to men's soccer, which makes $6 billion a year, well, that explains why men get paid more for soccer than women do. They don't bring in the money. You want to know why WNBA players don't get paid as much as NBA players? Why there is no woman in the NBA that gets paid like Michael Jordan? Because they don't bring in money like Michael Jordan. So they don't deserve it. It's economics. It's pure. It's not racism. It's not sexism. You don't make the money. The money's not there. Bring in the revenue, pay them as much as you can. If they brought in as much money as the Yankees, then they should get paid like Derek Jeter. I have no problem with that. But the fact is, they don't, so they don't deserve it. And saying that just because of their sex they should get it, well, that is, in fact, sexism. And it's something that we're supposed to be against. They don't need to get more money just because of their gender. That's not how it works. That's not economics. But that's my opinion. You may disagree.